Welcome back, little bro. It is month 1 now of no contact. And let me tell you something, you should be feeling pretty good about yourself because most men cannot make it 1 month with no contact. And here's the deal, what they'll do is they set up in their head, they say, I'm going to go no contact for a period of 30 days. And then I'll message her because here's the deal, I don't want her to forget about me. And that hits the core wound, the core misbelief that you might still be harboring. And I want to just pop that bubble right now. So here's what I mean. There is this belief in the back of your head that thinks if I do not do something, if I don't text her every such amount of days, then she's going to forget about me. She's going to lose feelings for me, and she's going to find somebody else. I am here to tell you that that is 100% false. And I know that's counterintuitive, but what you've got to understand is that you have no control over whether or not somebody finds you attractive. That's why you thinking you're going to do anything is going to increase or decrease that attraction. Right now, what you're going to do is stay in no contact. Do not reach out on day 31 because somebody else on the internet told you, hey, go 30 days no contact, then hit them with this message. That'll make them miss you. Because, and listen to me very carefully, the little message that you send is supposed to be something like, oh, it's gonna remind them of you somehow, and it's going to make them think about you somehow. And here's the deal, even if they entertain that, if they say, yeah, I remember that, they crack a little bit and say, yeah, I miss you too, and they probably do miss you. This only works in the short term. It's a temporary relief. She's going to do it again, and you're gonna have to go no contact all over again because you could not hold frame. If you can hold it together longer than 30 days, number one, you're doing better than the vast majority of men. And number two, it comes with this idea that you do not need her in your life, and that's going to bother her. Even if she has no feelings for you anymore, and she does. Even if that were true, worst case scenario, is that it's gonna burn and hurt her ego. And she's gonna wanna reach back out to you because she doesn't like the idea that you can just continue your life without her. How dare you? What are you doing leveling up without me? What are you doing dating somebody else? What are you doing looking better and I had nothing to do with that? Excuse me, is exactly what she's going to do. Stay in no contact, trust me on this, little bro. First off, how is she feeling after an entire month? Well, here's the deal. Most exes do reach out in under a month. They'll reach out to you in subtle ways, right? They'll like a post, they'll reply to a meme, they'll send a little emoji, they'll do something like that by this time. If your ex has not done that, that does not mean they're somehow over you. That does not mean they're not gonna contact you. That does not mean anything, okay? All those are little breadcrumbs. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to prompt you to reach out to them because that puts them in control already. And that's what they really want. That's what their ego wants anyway. Their ego says, let me control the relationship, let me control the dynamic because that's what the feminine ego wants. However, that's not what the feminine wants. You understand? The feminine wants the man to lead. The feminine wants to submit to you. Her ego wants to lead you. And those two natures are constantly at war with each other inside of her. That's why you never give in to that nature. That's why you have to lead the interaction. And part of you leading emotionally is you being able to step away and stay away and say, okay, if you wanted a life without me, you got it. No hate, just indifference. And that's gonna drive her up a wall. And that pressure that you're feeling inside of you, that's building up and you feel like, oh my God, I've just got to reach out to her. I've got to say something. I can't stand this anymore. All of that's valid, okay? Especially if this is like your first, second, third breakup and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't stand being away from her. I can't stand not knowing about her. I can't stand just not knowing. You've got to relax. You've got to learn to rest in your masculine frame and to understand that there are things in this life you will never know. There are things in this world you will never discover. This is one of them. Let it go, okay? That pressure that's building inside you, that exact same pressure is building inside her. And here's the deal, you as a man need to have a greater emotional capacity than she does because she has to trust your masculine frame so that she can invest her own emotional security inside of yours. So when you show her that you are emotionally weak, it makes her not trust you, it makes her pull away because she can't invest in you emotionally. So how is she feeling? Well, the good news is you've definitely crossed her mind. I would say at a minimum, you cross her mind once a week, at least once a week. And that's consciously, not subconsciously. Subconsciously, she probably sees little reminders of you and has to push you down and push you down and push you down. Consciously, she might lay there in bed at night or wake up in the morning and there's still no text from you and she sees her phone and she's like, all right. She still pushes it down, but you still come up. She is starting to feel that pain, that little prick of her heart, every single time she sees your profile picture, every single time she sees you post something, every single time she sees something that reminds her of you, she's gonna get that little bitty prick, that little bitty reminder that you exist, you're doing fine without her, and the proof for that is that she simply hasn't heard from you. And so she assumes, well, I guess maybe he moved on, maybe he doesn't care. And that's exactly what you want, okay? This isn't a game. She has already told you. She doesn't want you in her life. And you gave her exactly that. You gave her a taste of her own medicine. That's exactly what she wanted. Enjoy. She has not forgotten about you. You should not break no contact. That same pressure is going to make her explode because her emotional capacity is not going to be as strong as yours. What she's feeling right now are the first pangs of regret, the first pricks of her heart, the first subtle signs that she's missing you. This will only build and it will eventually make her reach out to you in an effort to release the pressure, just like how you feel. Even if it's just for a day, she's not gonna care. She's just gonna need that relief. See, in the beginning stages, in the first few weeks, she's doing everything she can to distract herself. And I mean everything she can. Maybe she even hopped in bed with another dude. And that's worst case scenario. Lil bro, please don't freak out. I don't know if she did. I don't know your situation. I don't know her. I do know that the girls with daddy issues, self-esteem issues, attachment issues, they jump to men very quickly, and it has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with her feelings for you, nothing to do with how strongly she felt in the relationship. But it is her way of distracting herself so that she doesn't have to feel what you've been feeling for the past month. And you feel that it's not fair. And you're kind of right, it doesn't feel fair. But here's the thing, all of that emotion, it just gets buried. That's all it does. It does not go away. And those things rise over time and she's not going to be able to keep them buried forever. And when they come up, it's going to hurt her so much more and all at once than it does you. And that's when she reaches out. She will have to reach out to you because you are the only one who's going to be able to relieve that pressure that she's feeling in her chest. And that builds a little bit more every single day. And you reaching out makes all that pressure inside her dissipate, and you don't want that. When that dissipates, she no longer misses you, and she knows you were just waiting. You were just playing no contact. You didn't really walk away. You didn't really detach. And here's the really bad part. She's gonna do it again. She knows that she can disappear for a whole nother month, and all it's gonna do is make you miss her more. All it's gonna do is have you become more attached to her, and she's gonna control that whole dynamic. And that is when her feelings are gonna start to fade because you are no longer in her masculine frame, and that's what she's actually attracted to. And guess what? No woman wants to date a bitch, so don't act like one. She is starting to think now at the 1 month mark, all right, maybe she did something wrong. And even if you know she did, all right, even if you know that she was the one that ended it, she was the one that did X, Y, Z, she's not going to tell herself that. Her ego is going to be such that she's not going to be able to feel that because she's going to pressure it and push it all down. But that doesn't last forever. And at the 1 month mark, they will finally start to feel those few little bits of actually missing you. And here's the deal. I know you're going to hear online about a lot of guys that their exes get back with them or they text them before the 1 month mark. But some of them, and I don't know the number, but I do know that some of them will only reach out to you because their ego wants to know that they can still have you. So they'll breadcrumb you a little bit. Be like, hey, I was just thinking about you. And the second that you reply, I was thinking about you too, I miss you so much, they know they can have you. You have fed their ego, you have validated their emotions, and now they're done with you again. That's why they ghost you again after they reach out. Don't play that game, all right? Learn to lean out when she leans in. Instead of her breadcrumbing you, you need to breadcrumb her. So if she reaches out to you in a month, in a few weeks, it doesn't really matter, and she says, hey, I really missed us. I'm sorry how things ended. How have you been? You need to reply with less emotion, and you need to say something along the lines of, hey, I've been great. Great to hear from you. You cross my mind sometimes too. I'm just trying to stay busy. You don't want to give her as much emotion as she gives you. You've got to lean out of it. So if she says blatantly, I miss you, you say, I've missed our talks. The point is, you don't have to have a specific line to reply with. You just need to understand the principle, which is simply to make her chase you, which is to not reach out, which is to take the lead emotionally, and to not fall for her little breadcrumbs. And they start to appear around the 1 month mark. So her liking your post or even replying with nothing but emojis means that you do not reply. She has to reach out with an actual message, not a snap, not anything like that, okay? And you shouldn't be watching her stories anyway. So look, if she is not reaching out to you yet, she's probably about to breadcrumb you, okay? She's probably checking your profile at least once a week, and she's probably wondering about you now. If she has a new man, then the honeymoon phase for her is about to end. It may be another couple of weeks, depending on when she actually got into the relationship with him. But once that dies down, and it's about around the 1 month mark, give or take a week or two, maybe a couple, she's going to start thinking about you again. She's going to start missing you again. She's going to start wondering about you again. And all that pain is going to start resurfacing in her chest, and that's when she thinks about you. And that's when she wonders, oh man, did I mess this up? And that's good. And all that pressure is going to build up inside of her until she eventually reaches out to you. And that's exactly what you want. Her chasing, you want her wondering about you, you want her reaching out because she's the one that ended it. This has nothing to do with the male-female dynamic right now. Right now it has to do with she was the one that ended it, so she needs to be the one that reaches back out and reestablishes contact with you. So here's the most important thing. What should you be doing? Hopefully, you've stayed in the gym, okay? And what I mean by that is you've gone to the gym on a set schedule. Not every day, because everyday training is superfluous. You don't want to do this. You're going at least 4 times a week, and you've stayed consistent with that every single day for 4 weeks straight. That is a hell of an accomplishment, okay? You're starting to build that into a daily habit. You definitely look better. You've definitely lost a little bit of weight, and she will definitely notice. Keep going to the gym, keep working on yourself, keep working on your emotional intelligence. And what I mean by that is that you're learning more about relationships, you're learning more about women, you're learning more about the masculine and feminine identities and dynamics. And the proof that you are on the right path is not that you're just going to the gym, it's that you're watching videos like this that clear the fog a little bit and help you understand a little bit more, not just about the relationship, but maybe what you did wrong. Because probably what you did, what most guys do wrong in a relationship is they over pursue, they over chase their woman, and it drives them away. And it makes them ask for space, and it makes them break up with you or take a break with you, which is the same thing, because they don't want to be chased by the masculine. They want to chase you. Deep down, their ego doesn't want that, but they want that as the feminine. So what should you be doing? You should be continuing what you're already doing. Do not give in. Do not reach out. Do not watch their stories. Do not do anything like that. If they reach out to you, do not fall for their breadcrumbs. Pull back emotionally. That is not to say you are going to be cold or mean or disrespectful. That is to say that you have detached yourself and you are simply improving your life. And if she messages you in time where you have not moved on, then maybe you might give her a chance. And she needs to understand that you are gone for good and that she will have to be the one doing all the work to get you back. Because if it does not come to that dynamic, you'll be the one chasing her again, and you're gonna have to go through this exact heartbreak, probably a little worse next time, fairly soon. You don't wanna be in that position, little bro. I got you. I'll see you in the next one.